This is the Dodgers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Los Angeles Dodgers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, hello and welcome. What is up, Dodger fans? I am Pete Fox, back at it, back home from Ireland and ready to talk some baseball before we hit the All-Star break. I know your first question might be, why didn't you take your vacation during the All-Star break? I wish I could have, but scheduling just didn't work out. My daughter starts volleyball tomorrow, so we couldn't. That would have been perfect, but I feel a little bit lucky that I kind of missed a lot of this losing streak that they went through, 7 in a row, and was able to slide back in right before the All-Star break with a win, a series win, and a series win over the Giants, which is always enjoyable. Again, I am Pete Fox, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Well, not the way you would have drawn it up if I had the pen in my hand, because it would have been much nicer, much more soothing to just get the 2-0 win and get out of there and not have Tanner Scott blow his 7th save of the season.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Tanner Scott is inconsistent and makes me uneasy when he pitches. Sometimes he's dominant, sometimes he's a gas can, like today. Although it wasn't a terrible pitch that he threw to the pinch hitter Matos, but it wasn't a good pitch. It was way too much of the plate, right in his wheelhouse, which he hit out for a 2-run game-tying home run. And I know you can't do this. I know you can't play the what-if Monday morning quarterback game, but Vesia has a 18-pitch strikeout inning. So he K'd the side, and then Tanner Scott comes in and gives up the blown save, and the Giants tie the game and have an opportunity to win. So you look at that and go, maybe you give Vesia that opportunity a little bit more frequently. I don't know. Tanner Scott, again, 7 blown saves. He has been better. We'll say that. The streak of late has not been as bad as it was. Went through a really bad stretch and then kind of got it back on the tracks. And now it's kind of all over the place. And you're just biting your fingernails every time he's in there, especially when he's throwing that ball up in the zone. Again, the pitch that was hit out by Matos today, not up in the zone. It was a slider down and in, but it just caught too much of the plate. Didn't have a whole lot of anything going on with it. It was a fairly lifeless pitch that, was way too easy for Matos to just jump all over. But the biggest story, the lead of this game, Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
It is absolutely a positive, good feeling to come away with a win in this game after the way Yamamoto pitched. What a waste that would have been. Oh my gosh. He was dazzling today, and the Dodgers gave him a little support. Not a lot. We can't get crazy here. 2 runs is a tick more than he normally gets, but not much. So I thought it was going to be enough, especially after Vesia came in and had the good frame. And then, Tanner Scott, I was just kind of fingers crossed, not wanting to even let that thought enter my mind. But Dreyer was good. Kasperius was good, but without a doubt, it was Yamamoto's day, going 7, striking out 7, only walking 2. The K's went like this: splitter, 4-seam, splitter, cutter to Devers, which was a wicked pitch. He also had the curveball working really well. I mean, it was dancing around, but he didn't strike out anybody with the curveball. The splitter in the 6th, he had a 3-up and 3-down frame. Then he struck out Yaz with a splitter. Great pitch. And that came right after he had given up a double to the center fielder Lee. So just a really, really solid outing from him with a lot of confidence. Unfortunately, he gets no decision because of Tanner Scott's BS. But you like to see that from Yamamoto, who is an all-star going into the all-star break. Kasperius, an inning and a third, struck out one and held the Giants. You know, in these extra inning games, the home team always has the advantage. So for the Dodgers to get the win was fantastic. And the way they got the win, I don't know if that's confidence building or not. That to me is what I scratch my head about in this game, because it was all luck. All of it was luck. They blooped them to death.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
By the way, honorable mention to Freddie Freeman for player of the game. He had 2 big hits, scored the first run with a scorched double to right. And that was, one of the best hits we've seen from Freddie in a while. And you could kind of see in his expression when he got to second and did the little arm thing that there's a little energy behind that. It wasn't, half-hearted and okay, whatever. He seemed pretty excited about that ball. So that means you could tell he was all over it. So big hit from him there. And then in the 11th, singled to center field on a ball that wasn't hit hard. Just, kind of off the label of the bat and fell into no man's land there, which is exactly what the Dodgers needed. James Outman scored, who had made a fantastic play the half inning before that, chasing down a ball hit by Rafael Devers that had double written all over it, or as Steven Nelson put it, game-ending RBI written all over it. So a fantastic play there from James Outman. But then in the next frame, before he scored, we were all kind of going, why did you not tag up on that ball hit to right by Mookie Betts? Made no sense at all. Ultimately, it wouldn't have mattered, but it was kind of like, didn't seem like anybody was, holding him up and saying, stay. And he's fast. I mean, he's not Hae-Sung Kim fast, but he's fast. He's 28. He's still got wheels. Like, what was that? I was just kind of like, come on, dude, wake up. Let's go. So he ultimately did score the go-ahead run there to make it 3-2. And then Teo squibbed one over to first base. Tough play by the first baseman. Threw it over to the Giants pitcher Bivens, who couldn't hang on. They called it a base hit, and rightfully so, because it was a very tough play. It wasn't routine at all. So that made it 4-2. And then Pages, who seemingly now hits more balls to right field than left field. So no longer pull happy Pages. He is push it to right Pages, because he just loves hitting that ball the other way, and he's become very, very adept at it. And that was a nice piece of hitting there. Again, caught it in on the hands, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So you look at that and say, the Dodgers needed this win. They lost 7 of 9, but they won the last 2, and they won the series. And they're heading into the All-Star break feeling like everything's okay, right? And, somebody commented somewhere along the line, I can't remember if it was just some random comment I read or if it was on the one show I did from Ireland. But, the Dodgers' trouble started when Max Muncy got hurt. So that's fair. And, we have no idea when Max will be back. But it is nice to win these last 2 games that head into the All-Star break on a 2-game winning streak, 5.5 in front of the Padres and 6 in front of the Giants. So still a relatively comfortable lead. It's not huge. It's not dominant. It's not the Detroit Tigers 11.5 over the Twins, but it is positive and things are moving in the right direction. And I feel like the thing that still makes me a little bit uneasy about this team is the back end of the bullpen. Court the Crusader 100% right. Pages made that sliding catch in center field, which was awesome. Yes, a defensive gem from him right there. So the defense was good today. Really, there's not much to feel bad about except that one inning from Tanner Scott when all he had to do was close the door and get out of there with the win. He had to make it interesting. But again, like I said, there could be something there for the Dodgers that they overcame the adversity of that bad frame in the bottom of the 9th and still won the game. So let's look at it from a positive perspective there. Pete Fox, the Locked On Dodgers postcast, back to work before the All-Star break, and then no more vacations planned till the end of the season. So I will be here down the stretch, and we get the Chargers underway this week as football camp is right around the corner. So we'll be doing the Chargers squad shows, I think, starting tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely on the 17th, which would be Thursday. The Locked On Dodgers postcast and the Locked On Dodgers YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And don't forget to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast with Travis Rogers Monday through Friday. Today's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Game Time. We've all been there, logging in early and waiting forever for concert tickets to go on sale, only to lose your spot for a show you've been dying to see. Live music shouldn't be about making memories. I say it should be about making memories. Exactly. I agree. Not dealing with stress of buying tickets and, setting your alarm to make sure you're within the first 30 seconds of the top of the hour or midnight or whatever. This is a great usage of Game Time. Game Time makes getting concert tickets faster and easier than ever. Prices actually drop as it gets closer to showtime, and you can save up to 60% off with their killer last minute deal. So if you're tired of scrolling, looking for tickets, or setting that alarm because you have to wake up at midnight when the tickets go on sale, it's not like the old days. When I was a kid, we used to go wait in line for tickets, and that was a whole event in and of itself. But nowadays you got to get online, and that doesn't always work out for a variety of reasons. And sometimes you get in and you're like, I don't know where to click. And before you know it, a minute has passed and you're in the top row instead of down on the floor. So you can just forget about all of that, wait for the tickets to be sold, then go to Game Time and buy them, and you'll save money. So it's a fantastic way to get tickets. I always recommend this to people that expect me to get them free tickets. I just say, go to Game Time. They're not free, but they're as close to it as you can get. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Dodgers pull one out of their backside, blooping the Giants to death in the 11th inning. Always awesome to get a road win in extras against a team like the Giants. Now, I have to be honest with you guys. This Roku, I don't know if you watched it or not, but this Roku cross-pollination broadcast that they did today, weird. I gotta be honest, weird. Don't like it. Don't like the broadcast when it's Dodgers Giants trying to be neutral. Not the biggest Steven Nelson fan, but I feel like he has gotten better this year and he's less cheesy. He made one of his cheesy comments on the James Outman catch. You won't, you didn't, or something like that. And he still says when the count is full 3-2, he says the count is filled up, and I will never approve of that. That's not a thing. That's not what we say. That is not how you describe a full count. It's not filled up. It's full. Period. There's no other way to describe a 3-2 count. You can try to describe it as 3-2 count, but it's full. It's not filled. It's not filling. It's full. And I heard him do it today 2 or 3 times. But him with Hunter Pence, really? Hunter Pence is obviously a Giants guy. And then they got the sideline reporter interviewing both managers. Also weird. So I don't know what that was all about. It's through MLB Network on the Roku Sports channel. I was like, I don't know if I get this game. So I ultimately found it because I have a Roku and it was free. It was kind of cool. But yeah, that whole cross-pollination, let's make it a neutral game of the week kind of a thing. It was weird. I mean, they did a good job of, making their broadcasts neutral. So Nelson was giving the Giants love and not over emphasizing the Dodgers. And the same could be said for Hunter Pence. He was not coming down on the Dodgers and, not overly loving the Giants. So Foxy Cinnamon agrees with me. Weird on Roku, and those ads for Joel Osteen made me click away. Yeah, ads in general, they're hit or miss, and quite often it's more miss than hit. But all in all, nice to get a win. Miggy Rojas going deep. That was a heck of a bat from him there for his 5th home run. Thought he had walked and then fouled off a couple, then got a breaking ball down and in and just stroked it to left. It wasn't like a bomb or anything, but he hit it hard and hit it out of there. Hae-Sung Kim had a good series, 4 for 8 coming in today and struck out today on 8 pitches. So it was a good at bat. He battled. Will Smith walked to lead off the 9th, leading the National League with a 328 batting average. So unfortunately that run in the 9th did not come around to score. But he was making things happen, getting on base. So that's what you want to see. 5-2 today, 2-1 yesterday, and they lost the opener 8-7. So another good thing to take away from this series. Freddie's hitting the ball a little bit. Shohei had a hit, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored after a pair of walks. One of them intentional there and extras. Mookie 0 for 4, so he's still going through it up and down. Will Smith 0 for 4, but walked once there. 2 Ks for him. Freddie Freeman, again, 2 for 5. Teo had a hit. That 11th inning jam job, another jam job for Pajas. So those guys were all responsible for the victory here for the Dodgers. Tommy Edman 0 for 5, and Hae-Sung ended up 0 for 2, and Ruiz 0 for 2 as well. Conforto came in 0 for 1, and Outman 0 for 1, but scored that run and did make contact. He didn't strike out, at least. I thought for sure he would, because they threw him a big loopy curveball, but he got made contact and hit a weak fly ball to like the shortstop or something with the 121 batting average. So let's just chalk up the first half to it could have been worse, right? It could have been worse. 58-39, 25-22 on the road after the 5-2 win. To the best of my knowledge, I believe that's still good for best in the National League by 1 game over the Cubbies and 3 over the Phillies in the East. And just 1 behind the Tigers for the best in all of baseball. So with a banged up starting rotation, a shaky at times bullpen, injuries on the field, Edman missing games, Teo missing games, Freddie going through a streak, Mookie is up and down, Shohei's healthy but is also kind of fighting it right now. It could have been so much worse. So let's take the positives, put the first half of the season to bed, enjoy the All-Star game, enjoy the home run derby, and come back on Thursday when the Dodgers will take, I don't even know who they're playing. I haven't even looked that far ahead. I believe it looks like the Brewers, and that will be in LA to the best of my knowledge. I don't even know if they have a starter listed as of yet. So yeah, Friday, not Thursday. Friday the 18th against the Brewers. Yeah, no starters listed yet. That'll start a 3-game set, followed by 3 against the Minnesota Twins, and they head out on the road to face Boston, Cincinnati, and Tampa. That's going to be a long one right there. 9-gamer after 6 at home. So first half in the books, Dodgers 58-35, 25-22 on the road after a 5-2 win. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Happy to be back. Appreciate your comments as always. I am Pete Fox. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast. Don't forget to check out the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast hosted by Travis Rogers Monday through Friday. Enjoy the week. Enjoy the All-Star game, and we will talk on Friday. Take care. Have a good night.